All right, let's have a chit chat, Gage. I'm just gonna wait till people come in. Um, so I did a thing, uh, but also I kind of wanted to come with some ground rules. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait till people come in for a little bit. Actually, let me know if you can hear this. Maybe I'll put like a notch lower. So I just did a mass unban of everyone. Um, just kind of a healthy reset. I thought should be in place. So, but I will say, it's not going to come without any kind of ground rules. Oh yeah, I just kind of saw there were cops already on the scene, so I thought that catch was finishing out. Um, yeah, but Tommy does have a catch. Um, I just thought it was finishing up, so that's why I'm live. But we'll be sticking around, so if you want to watch the end of that catch, you can. But yeah, so here's where I kind of stand. Is I did do a mass unban of everyone, but I think the ground rules should be, one, no doxing, obviously, and two, you can't just make crazy allegations with no legitimacy or proof. Um, so that's kind of what I believe. Either way, if someone's gonna make an accusation, they need to do that with proof. But I literally just, I even was just gonna go through it everything, but I just hit mass unban. I just hit the big X. So as of right now, everyone should be unbanned, as far as I can see. Or maybe I need to hit save. Yeah, and Predator Poacher, there's a lot of catches coming out. I saw a little bit of it. I would say for people to actually join Predator Poachers locals, I do think it's worth it. They caught, I guess, a guy who was sabotaging catches for them, and then the confrontation, like I guess he was caught like doing something. But the confrontation of that was just very satisfying because there's so many people that tip off Preds for us. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Thanks, Ryan. These frivolous claims that people are throwing around with no proof from both sides is insane. So it's like you can't just say like freedom of speech doesn't mean just saying like I can say Andrea D raped a kid. Like I can't just say that. Like we can't like let's not. And generally, also, I'm not really asking for. I kind of want to move from it being a confrontational space to to a to more of a positive space. Just because I will just say there's just no part of my brain anymore. I don't know what it is. I just have no more interest in like the stuff that's been going on. Like I literally just don't watch it. Like usually those lives happen even at night. I just sleep through it. I don't watch them anymore. Yeah, but I would say it's the locals is worth it though. Like that's $10 a month. I believe. I think sometimes they even have discounts, but it's like Spotify is like $10, is like $11-12 a month. And it's like you get like a constant stream of music. But for Predator Poachers, you really see like stuff that's not even out yet. You see like unedited stuff. I'm not gonna go on a whole like sales pitch, but I personally, and I don't make much, am a member of Predator Poachers locals, and I would say I've never regretted it. And there's been locals I've canceled before, like when it's just kind of not too active, But I would say it's worth it. People confuse freedom of speech with defamation. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, at the same time, I do believe I do kind of want it to be more of a positive space. Like if there is like some kind of conflict with other people on other sides, at this point, I'm just kind of, I just kind of want good vibes. I just want, the best for everyone. I just am not in a negative space to, you know, want to be consumed with negativity or anything. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. So yeah, hopefully like during catches and during whatever happens, because I do go live on here for catches, that it will be more of a place that you can feel you can chat in. Doesn't matter who there's an issue with on the internet. Like that's generally what I'm looking for. I think sometimes that comes with age. Don't want the drama. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, that's kind of really where I'm at because it's like there's just no point to it. I mean, I've been already accused of like you know multitude of things that I just didn't do. You know, um, and I think that's like I don't know. I mean, to what extent it just has no more legitimacy for it anymore. Like it's like it's going to be the internet. People are going to be lying about each other, but here I just want there to be a respect for the truth here. Like if someone makes some video somewhere else, it's what it is. Like I know it's true, but yeah, that's really what I'm looking for. And I really just kind of met a space where I just don't like even if like um I felt how I felt in different situations. I just I don't want to get into some endless argument online. That's really where I stand. I feel around the arguing, the dragging, and other sides crap. It all gets kind of old after a while. Sure, I like drama on occasion, but sometimes I've taken it too far. Yeah, and I just think that the best way I could say it, and this is on all sides, and me included, where correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it seem like everyone is being pushed out of their character in kind of what I would call a vicious cycle? So it's like kind of like, all right, that side did this and this to me, so now I'm gonna do this, which is something that I wouldn't normally do. And I think that no one can say that hasn't been true for them. No one. They could say it. I won't believe it. So yeah, so just kind of keeping it real. I think it's just kind of like a bad vicious cycle that I certainly don't want to be a part of, and I'm not going to be even participating in. Um, so that's the way I see it. It's kind of like yeah, it's like people are calling police, like trying to get people like yeah, like even Jeff kind of has something to say. Like he like at the end of the day, they still like say one about Jeff, they still sent police to his house, and there was some consequence to that. It's not like there wasn't. Um, and I think in general, like it's gone too far, and that's actually what I really meant when I had the doxing truce. A lot of people kind of accused me of not being sincere about that when I was talking about like the doxing truce. But really, what I meant, and it was true, um, is that I could see it just becoming like it beginning to get like a vicious cycle that was starting to get out of control, and really just push each other as far as we go, as far as how bad the other side would stoop to, and then at the end of the day, it's like a pretty dangerous race to the bottom, and like I don't want to be a part of that, you know. Um, so yeah, that's where I stand on that. I haven't went live for a while, so I'm a little rusty, and it's not a big live. So I agree. Everyone is on the defensive all the time. No one talks about anything real anymore, from fear of being dragged or the info being used against them. Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. So you know, it's like if you even talk about anything, then it will be taken out of context, and then worse yet, someone can make videos about it and make it sound convincing, and people will believe it. You know, and it's kind of at a certain point, like when you get to a certain age, you kind of realize that truth doesn't really matter. Like it can matter to you, and you can live by the truth, but what's really going to matter at the end of the day is perception of the truth. So that's kind of the issue where people are just going to be making like false accusations to each other at a certain point. It's really gonna matter more on how well you say it rather than the merit of what you're saying. So yeah, White Claw, you're unbanned here at least. I just hit a massive unban. Um, and yeah, really where I'm trying to take MVCap is I want anyone who wants to be on the ride. You know, I kind of put a lot of things in place. Hopefully starting next week to really take it to where we're trying to go. Um, and that's where I stand. I was never banned here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you were referring to Jeff. Like I always thought, I would go up on panel, but after the last couple months, I just can't. It really just isn't safe anymore. Yeah. At the end of the day, I kind of like the idea of like Fireside being more of like a kind of like a upbeat discussion, about predator catching, and not weird drama shit. I think we have enough of weird drama shit. We could just go on pretty much any other channel in the community, and we can see all the drama shit. And lately, I've been turning that shit off. It got old. Hit back on. What's up? So yeah, that's really kind of all I want to say. Hey, what's up, Steve Dave? Yeah, I will say I'm not gonna get into it because I didn't even watch it or want to watch it enough to even know the full story. So I will say that. But that entire shit, I just willfully looked the other way. I just didn't want to hear anything about that. It be getting weird, you know. What's up, Elmo? So yeah, so three things. Like one, I just did a mass unban. Um, and I'm just gonna say like as ground rules, I don't really want. I only want pretty much doxes banned, and if it is defamation, or like not defamation in the legal sense, because nobody's calling the police. I don't have the FBI sitting next to me. There's pretty much I'm kind of under the belief that, like, here's like my actual belief is I'm very conservative about going to the police with anything. Like, even if someone technically did break the law, I just don't believe that the police would care about internet shit. So like that's why I didn't even go to the police about the JFK thing. Um, so I'm not talking in any kind of legal sense because one, if you're not rich, you can't sue anyone. Defamation doesn't apply to anyone. You have to have deep pockets if you're gonna sue anyone. Um, so don't worry about suing anyone because you can't. And no one's calling the police on anyone. So not in the legal sense, but what I don't want on my channel is like people just kind of making like, you know, wild accusations just without the merit. And really, I think the focus should just be on, a certain topic rather than uh, you know rather than just kind of beefing with each other. Because I just think that, like, I'm kind of getting to the headspace of that, and I'm 30, so like I just think that we all could, just evolve. Yeah, hopefully. I would say free speech in the sense of free speech. Obviously, legally speaking, nothing's illegal here, because we're not, you know, it's a YouTube channel. I'll just say that. Yeah, his. So that's what actually made a comment in his live. Um, is yeah, Cam is really on the doorstep to being homeless. Like, which I wouldn't even, as bad as he's like messing up his own life, I wouldn't even wish that on him necessarily. Like, maybe, like, I don't know, falling in a puddle or something like that. I don't know, but like not even that. But like it's just his bad decisions that he's like his van is his last lifeline to being homeless, and he's already causing some kind of issues at work at his job. And so if those two things go, and one is like halfway pretty much gone, unless he pulls off some miracle to fix his van, that dude's homeless. Unless he's getting bailed out by someone in the community, in which at that point I'm not even going to be against that. I just kind of have sympathy for that person because they're funding. They're kind of a sucker if they're funding that dude. And yeah, I don't know. Um, that dude's crashing out. Yeah, you're here. You can only help people so much. They gotta want help. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like, imagine. Could you imagine like your last lifeline away from being homeless is just your van, what you knew you were buying in bad condition when you started, and now the engine blew, and already you're kind of like on the edge at work. He like, whether he knows it or not, whether he understands it or not, because like at the end of the day, bringing all that drama to work, they're gonna there's gonna be conversations in where you're not in the room about you at that point, if you know what I mean. Like take that for what it is. That's how the world works. Like, so, you know, and it's like that. I would be nervous. I would be a nervous wreck if I was Cam in that position. Like, if my engine blew and I have a place to live, I would be a nervous wreck. I mean, that's a big bill. And I saw something about he was getting it from a junkyard or something. Like, oh, I'm gonna get a. So he already has a broken van, and he's getting an engine from a junkyard. Oh my god, who's gonna tell him? But yeah, my mechanic told me I got a steal for the van. Everything is in perfect condition. Yeah, that doesn't sound perfect condition. Thanks, Ryan. He's staying in their parking lot and leaching electricity. Yeah, so he's like living. That's kind of weird. Like he's living in a van, pulled up in front of his work. Um, that he works at, and I don't know. That's just no way to live, bro. I don't know what that dude's thinking. It's kind of sus have an employee living in a broken down car on the company property. Yeah, I think that too. Like I would have some deep reflections about my life. And being 35, he's 35. He's 35 years old. About that, right? Imagine if you got fired right now, then what? And here's the thing. Like whether like don't think that you can just you can be fired for no reason. You can be fired for coughing. How the real world works is if someone's your employer, they have the power to have a conversation about you without you being in the room or without you being able to do anything about it. So you better have a good backup plan for being fired, especially if you're already even bringing anything YouTube related in your work. At a certain point, it's like, yeah, like I'll help you with like some stock or whatever. But at a certain point, it's like this guy is. It's only a matter of time. Like, look at the pattern. Dinner was display sandwiches that did not sell the other night. Exactly. Like the van life genre is so saturated. He has nothing that stands out. That's why if he were to just be a homeless creator, he would maybe have success. But how is he going to even be a homeless creator? Like, how's he going to even charge his phone? Like, it's literally going to be homeless life after van life. That's my prediction. And even that, I wouldn't say that's good for anyone because there's a dog that he takes care of, right? Valentina. And shit, I don't know if there should be like a CPS thing, but for dogs, but there's not. So that dog's gonna have to suffer because of all this. So, man, as much as like as satisfying as of a downfall it is from like bad decisions, it's just like at a certain point, it's like it's not really good for anyone, really. He lays on his ass playing video games. He's lazy. That's why he's where he's at in life. Yeah. Homeless art creators popping right now. Anyone else following Brooke? Oh, I heard of her. She's about my age. I thought she was like 50 or something. She's like my age. We're about the same age. It's like, damn. Life after Van Death would be a great Life after Van Death. Hey, Lella. I follow Homeless Guy on Facebook. He goes live all the time. Yeah, I mean, but God, bro, like, how is that an aspiration? Like, I'm gonna be a homeless guy on live. I mean, because like, here's the thing: I'm already thinking about buying my next car. Like, I know that I would have to think conservatively within like maybe I don't know 6 to 7 years. A Honda, like that's gonna last. I better have like some money saved up by then in cash, outside investments to buy a new car. But like, imagine living in already a broken down car. Like that's just you know that's unsustainable. Yeah, like maybe it was a cotton he was inhaling. It's a kratom. I mean, I even do kratom myself. I'm not anti kratom. I don't do as much kratom as he does though. I remember I tried like it's like this lemonade drink or whatever. That he'd make. Every time I had one, I like couldn't finish, and it would be it's really dense. It's like a Long Island of kratom. So like I take like a very small amount of kratom if I do, but like I don't. Yeah, it's like it really depends on like how like too much of anything can be bad. Like you can smoke like 3 pounds, like a pound of weed a day or whatever, and that can be bad for you. It's like too much of anything's bad. Too much of food's bad. Too much of water's bad. Too much of yeah. Have you heard of the Feel Free? It's heard bad things about that. Yeah, we got a Discord popping off. Really good people are in it, and it's starting to come to life. It really is. I'm glad for how it's turned out. Cam sipping on 100 proof kratom. I thought he was selling his kratom for what happened to all those bags he had. Yeah, I would just say selling what I had, I would think is a huge liability, because that will have, like, maybe it didn't mess me up, but like I could see it messing someone else up, because that's like, if there are people that don't do well on kratom, you know I would imagine if someone's getting a heavy dose of kratom that they wouldn't probably do well, you know. But yeah, that's he would flinch over every simp of Twisted Tea. He was having kratom withdrawals. Yeah, definitely welcome to the Discord if anyone joined. I can tell you how much people we got actually. We'll see how much people we got. I don't know if you want me to say the names, but now we're at, let's see, 63 members. So we're at 63 members in there. We're trying to get to 100. That's kind of a goal. Drop my mouse. Drop my later. Yeah, Lola and Vlad are good people. They're like the original MVCap OGs. They're actually one of the early people in the server that joined the server. Trying to see any comments I missed. But yeah, so I mean, anyone's just coming in. Basically, one, I did a mass unban, but also that does come with conditions, like no doxing and no making, like, wild unsubstantiated claims about people. And just generally, I don't know, we want to try to just keep it a positive space. That's really all I'm asking for. You know, and if we discuss things, that's or like hash things out, I think that's another thing. Um, but that's where we want to take it. We want to kind of go back to the old MVCap Fireside days. Doxing and swatting should be criminal. Yeah. Can we drag Jeff? Of course we can drag Jeff. Yeah. It's Blue and Vlad. The best. I would go to the end of the universe for them. Yeah, I mean, there's not much people like them in the world. I'll say that. I don't know. Jeff's been kind of dragging himself lately. Um, I think he should kind of work on himself a little bit. That's my opinion. I have an FBI agent right next to me that's saying that Jeff to um yeah. Oh, so like I'm sorry, I'm just reading a comment. So like has anything come out of the swatting? Yeah, I guess nothing came out of the swatting. I don't think there probably are any leads because though my read into it is it sounds like there was someone it was done from someone like inside of a jail cell with nothing to lose. Like it sounded like someone saying, "I just killed my whole entire family," whatever, and it's probably someone that couldn't be tracked, or is in like some other country, or is probably calling from jail or something like that. I think it was probably someone it's very hard to track, and it sucks that you can't do anything about that because swatting really. I mean, technically it is illegal, but I think it should just we gotta enforce that. You know, I watched a 5 minute video of him yesterday doing a half-ass catch. That dude is gonna get hurt. Um, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, like I did post one of his catches up. Um, yeah, actually, I don't think catching is in his future. And that's a good thing. I will say that. Like maybe you could do like his panels or a podcast, and hopefully that's done in a healthier way. But yeah, I was just reposting it because I decoyed it. Not gonna lie, I convinced some mofo was getting some jail time. Some girl named Stephanie was the one that swatted Alex. Yeah, I did see that. And yeah, and I heard the call too. Um, Papa Duke was like more like in on it than uh trying to stop it. Wasn't Tech supposed to drop all the info? Yeah, I don't believe anything Tech says, so I don't know. And honestly, that's kind of the reason why I didn't fully believe like that it was all Steph possibly that tipped off the pred just because Tech was involved. So it's kind of like I don't really know Steph, but I know Tech. So I thought like maybe Tech framed her, but now, I know. And I was wrong for that. Or are those 40 victim statements that Jeff has? Well, consider the source. Well, Tech took down his tell-all panel had set up for months. You don't say. The season of the community has so many loose ends. Yeah. And just now, it's like, I don't even know. It's kind of more like it was kind of even entertaining to watch, but like it just kind of died out to just it being stupid. Like, we're really still talking even about Ed. Like, I mean, even I'm like, I just think it's settled. Like, it's done, you know? Obviously, I was on the right side of that, but yeah. Koopa, what's up, Koopa? Yeah, Koopa High actually made the original NVCap intro. I want to kind of use that in one of my catches when I premiere them. I think Cam Stalker was him. That's just my opinion. And something that's true is, by the way, he took all of it down. If you notice, he took every bit of every post about that situation down. And I think that says a lot. He scrubbed it. So yeah, that's a good question. So just to clarify, I'm gonna be putting premieres on the Big Handicap channel, and I'm going to be going live here for catches. But yeah, but that is a good question though, because it's two channels. Came out in World War III over the stalker, and now doesn't even mention it. Yeah, because there wasn't. I don't believe there was a stalker. I believe that it looked like Cam. And I've never seen. I mean, he said there was a frame, I guess, with him and the stalker. I haven't seen that, and I don't think that evidence exists because I think it is him. I thought Cam was gonna join ICE and catch illegal preds, bro eating canned meat. Did he really say that? A lot of people would have much better mental health if they didn't take what internet strangers say to heart and allow it to affect their personal life. Yeah, that's definitely true. But I mean, yeah, to an extent though. I mean, at least I want this place to just not completely throw, you know, wild accusations, but yeah, but wild accusations is a part of the internet. I'm probably gonna be accused of more stuff that I didn't do, and I gotta accept that. Like that's what it is. Cam's life was in danger, but now is staying at the scene of the crime. Yeah, he lives. That's kind of crazy. Don't you think that's crazy? Like he's making all this posts and making all this fuss, but he sleeps in the same parking lot where it happened. Or am I tripping, or is that not true? He lives and sleep. Puts his head down in the same parking lot where all that happens. It's wild. ChatGPT gave me a 60 to. I just kind of, what I did. Um, I took is one of his community posts and I ran it through ChatGPT, and here's what it said. Um, Let me read this. Vlad and Lala know what I'm talking about. So I basically explained the situation. What do you think this guy's odds are from being homeless? And he said, and ChatGPT said, actually, let's play it. Let's play it.
Based on what's in that post and what you just told me, I'd say his odds of ending up homeless in the near term are pretty high unless something changes quickly. Here's why. His home is his van, and that van's engine is officially done for. If it becomes completely immobile before he can save up, he loses both his housing and transportation. He needs 2-3 weeks to save up, but mechanical problems can worsen overnight, and salvage yard stock isn't guaranteed to wait for him. Problems at his new job. That's risky because job instability means losing income and the ability to pay for repairs. No backup housing. He doesn't mention any long-term place to stay if the van is out of commission. The people helping him now seem to be offering short-term fixes, e.g., insulating the roof, storing his partner at a house temporarily. Already in debt to friends' mechanics, which limits his ability to borrow more money if things go south. If nothing changes, I'd say there's at least a 60 to 70% chance he faces some period of homelessness, whether that means sleeping rough or couch surfing, before the van is fixed. If you want, I can map out a timeline of what likely happens to him over the next month, depending on whether he keeps his job or loses it. That could make the odds more concrete.
Okay. So yeah. ChatGPT is, by the way, my been my assistant lately. It's been my second brain. Um, wanna see that though? Want to see the timeline? Yeah, show me the timeline. Do you want me to show the timeline? Yeah, show me the timeline. It's hard to type and hold this microphone. That's actually something we got to do. We got to make ChatGPT a member of the community as a default voice. All right, here is the verdict.
All right. Based on the details from his post and your note about him already causing problems at work, here's a realistic 4-week projection of what could happen, split into best case, middle case, and worst case outcomes. Week 1. Now 7 days. Best case. He keeps his job, keeps driving the van short distances, and starts putting aside 150 to 250 a week toward the salvage yard engine transmission. Van still runs, though barely. Middle case. Van becomes too risky to drive. Rods failing, knocking worsens. Needs to rely on friends for transport. This slows income and repair work. Still employed, but hours drop. Worst case. Engine seizes completely. Van immobile. Has to leave it in one spot and either couch surf or sleep rough. Loses transportation to work and likely the job within days. Week 2. Best case. Has $300, $500 saved. Friend with tow truck is still available. Van still running just enough to reach mechanic when ready. Middle case. Savings at $200 to $300, but salvage yard engine is still available. Risk of it being sold rises. Work issues escalate, maybe one warning from employer. Worst case. Out of work. No savings progress. Salvage yard parts possibly sold to someone else. Van sits immobile in a lot or on the street, possibly at risk of being towed. Week 3. Best case, near target savings, $600, $700, able to buy engine and transmission, start swap process, mechanic and friends still helping. Middle case, parts are bought, but he's short on labor costs or small missing parts. Repair stall, still employed, but cutting into savings for food gas. Worst case, officially homeless. Van either towed, vandalized, or broken into. No job income. Debt to friends grows. Week 4. Best case, van back on the road. Essentially brand new under the hood. Job stable enough to cover ongoing costs. Middle case, repairs are ongoing but dragging. Still at risk of losing van if funds dry up before completion. Worst case, van gone or non-repairable. Fully homeless with no transport. Employment gone. Possibly leaves the area or relies entirely on charity, couch surfing. Summary odds, based on his current state. Best case, full recovery. Try 20% chance. Middle case, van repair delays, unstable job. Blaze, 40% chance. Worst case, homelessness, 40% chance. If you want, I can also break down the exact dollar amount per week he'd need to avoid homelessness so we can see if it's even realistic given his situation. That might tell us if he's already too far behind.
All right, so I have to, okay, if I break down, I have to break down the situation to ChatGPT first about the stalker. Oh, actually, we can do a poll too. Can I do that on my phone? Let me see. I don't do this often. And I don't see a... Is that something I can only do on my computer? And it doesn't... I don't see where I can make a poll. Yeah, so I don't think it can let me make a poll. But I will... I'll let ChatGPT know about the situation. Okay, so here's the situation with him. So he claimed that someone from the internet community, right, with a mask, and there was kind of like a picture of him. I mean, a picture of the stalker, rather. but the license plate had quite literally a piece of paper titled "NVCap," which is NVCap me. Um, and the guy looked a lot like Cam himself, so it's hard to refer to him as another person. Um, so the chat wants to know what are his odds of that stalker coming back, and keep in mind that every single post that he's made about the stalker, uh, he took down, and he claimed he was calling the police on. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. We got a doozy. It's typing. All right, let's hear what ChatGPT says about that.
Given all that, here's how I'd break down the odds of the stalker showing back up, factoring in both the real world risks and the behavioral red flags. Key factors. 1. License plate with NVGAP paper. This is unusually specific. If the stalker is targeting him personally, they clearly know how to find him and want him to see it. On the other hand, it could also be a setup or stunt if Cam himself staged it, which is what some in the chat suspect. 2. Stalker resembling Cam. If it really does look like him, and no one else would have reason to target him this way, then either he's doubling as his own stalker, attention-seeking, sympathy farming, or someone close enough to him to mimic his build appearance is doing it. 3. Deleted posts about the stalker. People who are genuinely scared usually keep documentation for police, not delete it. Deleting suggests either he realized it hurt his credibility, he fabricated or exaggerated it, police told him to stop posting details. 4. Claims of police involvement. If true, police would have a record. However, the fact that he's pulled down all public posts suggests they might not have found the claim credible, or that he was told to stop making public accusations. Probability breakdown, scenario percent, likelihood Y. The stalker was real and will return, 25%. Plausible if this is a genuine grudge or personal vendetta. The plate stunt indicates premeditation, but without a public feud, most stalkers don't keep escalating without interaction. The stalker was real but will not return, 25%. If the stalker's goal was to scare him once, they may feel they've made their point. This is common in petty harassment. The stalker is staged fabricated, 50%. The resemblance to him, the oddly theatrical license plate, and the deletions fit a pattern seen when people create drama for attention or sympathy. If this is the case, the stalker will never return because they don't exist. If the stalker is real, odds of them coming back soon, 40% within 30 days, mostly because the original act was bold and public. Odds of long-term harassment, 20%, since many stalkers either escalate quickly or drop it entirely after the first scare. If you want, I can timeline out the next 60 days of what's most likely to happen in both the real stalker and fabricated stalker scenarios, so the chat can visualize exactly how it could play out. That would make it easier to decide whether they should expect drama to pop up again or not.
All right. If anyone has any questions, I'll actually say like the username and their question to ChatGPT. They have like a burning question. My thoughts on the stalker is that they was doing training on robberies, and Cam play robber and he took the video and made the claim he was being stalked. Yeah, that's how long shaved deli ham lasts. I don't know what that is, but I can ask. Lala Blue asked how long shaved deli ham lasts.
If it's shaved deli ham from a grocery store or deli counter, in the fridge, sealed and stored at 40 degrees Fahrenheit versus 4 degrees Celsius, 3 to 5 days is the safe window after purchase. If it's factory sealed and unopened, it can last up to 2 weeks. Check the use by date. In the freezer, 0 degree from 9 to 18 degrees Celsius, 1 to 2 months for best quality, but technically safe, much longer. Signs it's gone bad: slimy or sticky surface, sour or sulfur-like smell, dull grayish color instead of pink. If you want, I can make a quick visual fridge freezer storage guide so you can send it to Lala Blue. Would you like me to do that?
I think we're good, given Vlad said he's already having the sandwich. 3 to 5 days, 3 to 5 weeks, same thing. Life could be better. You could be pretending to be your own stalker for internet drama and living in a broken down van and have your job in jeopardy. It could always be worse. I'm sure there was an accidental timeout. Yeah, if someone timed someone out, I don't think they would do that on purpose. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I mean, that's what he's saying on his channel. Yeah, but I think that's really all I need to say. I can't really think of much more. But yeah, also, where I plan to take like MVCap like next week. Ever since I started MVCap, 2021. You guys have kind of been there on my journey all through, and just kind of whether you were just kind of viewing, commenting, or subscribing or whatever it is, thank you for being a part of the journey, and there's a lot of big things coming up. I don't want to say I'm actually not gonna say too much, but like just generally, I always appreciate I don't know. I appreciate the MVCap community, I guess. I'm trying to figure out how to say it the right way. No, thank you, right? Yeah. Because I'm kind of in like a very strong position where I can really leverage a lot of focus to it now. You've been 100 since day one with me, Ryan. Yeah, and Koopa High was always like a day one person. I think Lala Blue and Vlad were. Yeah, and even the highs and the lows, I kind of was. Sometimes I just kind of like look back and I think about it, like, and I'm just like, even though like there were lows, uh, I don't know. There were some good memories. A lot of crazy stuff happened. Like the kidnapping catch. It's been kind of a roller coaster a little bit. We are kind of a huge autistic dysfunctional family at times. Yeah, and honestly, for you guys to put up with me with the Greek grandma trial, I kind of watched that back a little bit, and it just, I mean, I was right technically that like yeah, it was like a fake person, it wasn't a real great grandma, but like I was kind of on one on that one. I was kind of tripping. I was kind of like borderline on how no. I was tripping on that one. Like I was right, but just the way it was like the great grandma trial, it's kind of interesting to watch yourself back a couple years. I was gonna mention how steel is tempered, Ryan. It is through heat and cold. It makes it strong and resilient. Life challenges can be like that. Yeah, and I would say uh, throughout this entire process, even no matter how bad the situations were, and they were, like I've always had like a good group of people that I could go to about it, and that you're never guaranteed that in life, and I appreciate that. So I think as bad as the community can be sometimes, like there's also um, things that are priceless about it, and I kind of want like the MDCAP community to be more positive. I think because it should, you know. Yeah, you passed the test. So yeah, that's kind of really all I got to say. I just did a mass unban. We're gonna try to just kind of keep like moderation up until like doxing, like making wild claims. They'll just kind of get deleted, I guess. Maybe don't even talk about it too much because I think all people kind of want is like just attention when that happens. Um, yeah, the Salem stream. I was kind of 50-50 on it, on whether people wanted to see that or not. Yeah, when do you guys still want to see that? I thought it was kind of I was setting myself on my own mission. I just didn't know if it was like something people would want to watch. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, we could do that real soon. Yeah, and I kind of said that'd be tied to the 2K subs. So yeah, not gonna lie, I've been waking up very early. So it's like it would need to be like an overnight challenge. So it'd be more of like a challenge staying up all night. So I gotta kind of adapt my sleep cycle to it. But yeah, we could try to do that and like maybe like probably like next week or something like that, or maybe this week. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna be at I would be at Proctor's Ledge. Try to watch the most scary stuff that is shown to me. Maybe it's like movies or whatever. And I'm gonna be at Proctor's Ledge at 3 a.m., which is it's said that's like a paranormal hour. I'm down with the Salem streams. Yeah, but when I do let people know, I got to give people time. That's gonna happen. So we'll keep y'all posted on it. All right, definitely. Then it's definitely gonna happen. All right, so I can't really think of anything more to say. Yeah, and definitely welcome to anyone join the Discord. I think I'll repost it on the community page. So that Discord, as long as you have Discord, it's really open to everyone. It's not in any means like an exclusive or private server or anything like that. It's just kind of a um, it's just kind of like a public forum. Um, it's the many ways like I can be reached. I'm in there a lot, so you know. I'm scared UK, so I'll watch while you're actually there. Sounds real rad. Yeah, we'll see a ghost. And I'll probably just interview the ghost and just ask them like, what's the most annoying part of humans? You know? Yeah. And also, I would say since it's a public Discord, I wouldn't suggest really like keeping private, like sharing private information or anything like that. Like no information sharing, no secret sharing. I'm just kind of saying as like the Discord owner, that wouldn't be the place to do it. Um, that wouldn't be the place, but it should be the place that it can just be a positive environment. That's really it. Go visit the Annabelle doll. All right, so I don't have an outro, but I'm just gonna end it. But yeah, probably gonna get cursed. And I'll share the Discord link in the community post, and hopefully we can get up to 100. We're at 63 now. I think since I last checked. What are we at? Last time I checked, I think it said 63. Um, 65. We're at 65 now. So welcome to all who've joined. All right, and now I'll end stream.